Our guest today is very well-known fiction writer Juggi Bhasin, whose book Bollywood Deception is on the stands now and is getting rave reviews. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to Aaj Savere. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Nidhi, for inviting me here. It's such a pleasure coming back. Bit of a home for me. I used to be in Doordarshan long back.
It's wonderful having you here. Now, when we talk of Bollywood, Juggi Bhasin, what comes to our mind is the glitz and the glamour. Also attached to it is the ugly side of Bollywood, the seedy side, the violent side, which you have very rightly portrayed in your book. So, can you take us back to the time when you started writing this book? What were your feelings? Why did you choose this subject?
Nidhi, there is a very interesting story to it. हुआ क्या था कि मैं कुछ साल पहले, I was in Bombay for nearly 10 years. I'm from Delhi basically, लेकिन I had moved to Bombay. My wife was a banker, so Mumbai, बिल्कुल Mumbai. और I also do stage acting. I am a stage actor also. Besides, I have been an anchor earlier and a writer. So I wanted to try my luck in Bollywood.
As
an aspiring actor.
Wannabe.
As a wannabe, as a middle-aged aspiring wannabe actor.
Okay.
So I started doing the audition rounds. अब audition rounds में क्या होता है कि आपको हर तरह के लोग मिलते हैं, especially younger people who are trying. So, I started talking to them, and my reporter's instincts, they came up, and I started inquiring what was going on.
Antennas went up, as you say.
Absolutely.
Yes.
तो उसमें फिर बहुत सारी कहानियां पता चली, कि बॉलीवुड के अंदर क्या चल रहा है. जो ऊपर दिखाई देता है वो बाहर जो सतह पे होता है वो नहीं होता है, अंदर जो वो कुछ और ही होता है. So it was a different world.
Actually, my point is, because you observed it the way you did at such a close distance, and being one of them you wrote about the book, that is why it has so much of, reality attached to it, that one can almost see it mirroring Bollywood. So, your protagonist in the book, your characterization in the book, is based on a lot of suspense, like Sherlock Holmes, and, you wanted to emulate such detectives.
Yes.
तो उसके बारे में आप हमारी viewers
मैंने बहुत एक interesting experiment करा. I am a Sherlock Holmes fan. Always have been, ever since as a child. There's no Indian version of Sherlock Holmes. So I created a Parsi detective called Kas Batteriwala. And I created the equivalent of Dr. Watson. I created Dr. Kasturi Pandey called Kasata, who's an ex-military doctor.
These are the two central characters of the book,
These
right?
are the two central characters of the book. और उनकी ना chemistry is like a house on fire. लड़ते रहते हैं आपस में, बहुत उनके dialogues एक दूसरे को बहुत कुछ बोलते रहते हैं. But they are also very, very smart. They are very, very intelligent, number one detectives in a way. So I put these two detectives in the Bollywood setting. और Bollywood setting में आपको मैंने जैसे बताया कि मैं तो audition rounds कर रहा था, कुछ roles भी कर रहा था, मैंने कुछ serials भी करे वहां पर. So I knew the inside out, what was it all about. So I created this crime scenario in Bollywood to bring out कि Bollywood की जो दूसरी एक aspect है, वो मैं audiences अपने जो readers हैं उनके सामने मैं लाना चाहता था. So that was the idea, to tell people that ठीक है, ग्लैमर है, ग्लिट्स है, उसको आप देखिए, एंजॉय करिए, बट उसके नीचे क्या चल रहा है वो भी आपको उसकी एक नॉलेज होनी चाहिए.
आपको नहीं लगता कि इतने सारे हमारे देश में एस्पायरिंग एक्टर्स एंड एक्ट्रेसेस है, एस्पायरिंग, who go to Bollywood with those kind of dreams and, blue-eyed, and everything is, hunky-dory for them, till they reach the place, and then the depression and the trauma that takes place. तो आपने ये सब ऑब्जर्व किया, आपको कैसा लगा?
It's very traumatic for young people, a lot of young people, because not everybody can make it. That's the law of averages. It's not possible कि जो भी वहां पहुंचेगा वो एक बड़ा सितारा बन जाएगा. Not possible. तो ये बेचारे young जो बच्चे जाते हैं, boys and girls, क्या इनका हश्र होता है, what really happens to them, that I have told about in the book also. Some of the stories are not very comfortable,
very
but they're
compelling
true.
Read, yes.
But they're very compelling, but they're not comfortable. But yes, that is a reality they have to face. Exploiters बहुत हैं. And the main reason for that, Nidhi, is because it's an unregulated industry. अब जैसे हमारी telecom industry है, हमारी banking industry है, these are regulated industries. Laws are set. मगर बॉलीवुड में कोई ऐसी regulation नहीं है.
But एक बात, I'd like to interrupt you here. हम Bollywood कर रहे हैं.
जी.
But Bollywood, if I went through a study yesterday, so I saw that 35%. I mean, the budget is the Indian film industry. Tamil and Telugu films are the biggest provider of tax to our government.
Well, that might be true, but
so industry would be Indian film industry. It cannot be Bollywood.
I agree with you,
I don't,
but it does not even today have the status of industry.
Yes, yes.
Because once you get a status of industry, then automatically laws kick in.
I believe they're mulling
I
over
believe
it.
so. I think
it is going to come.
I think the government is very serious about it, and I'm sure it will come. And that's why all these middlemen, all these sharks, and all these exploiters, then जिसे हिंदी में कहते हैं उनका धंधा तब बंद होगा जब ये laws आ जाएंगे तो उसके बाद मगर अभी एक्सप्लॉयटेशन काफी है
जो आपने अपनी आंखों से देखा
जो मैंने खुद अपनी आंखों से देखा और बच्चों से जब बात करते हैं यंग एस्पायरिंग एक्टर्स एंड एक्ट्रेस देखिए हम लोग वी आर एक्सपीरियंस पीपल वी हैव डन व्हाटएवर वी हैव टू डू इन लाइफ तो हमें इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता बट यंग पीपल हु आर स्टार्टिंग देयर करियर्स एंड हु वांट टू बिकम एक्टर्स एंड एक्ट्रेसेस उनकी तो पूरी जिंदगी सामने पड़ी हुई है तो इफ दे लैंड अप इन अ प्लेस जहां सिर्फ एक्सप्लॉयटेशन होती है बट यू डोंट गेट गुड रोल्स you don't get good money जो आपको प्रॉमिस करा जाता है वो आपको नहीं मिलता then there's a big problem.
Mr. Bhasin, on the rate of suicides now in Bollywood
and
in the TV industry we just heard of very many.
Nidhi, give me a minute to explain to you what really is happening in the serial industry because I worked in a few serials also.
Yes.
First of all, the entire the way the serials operate is completely topsy-turvy. शूटिंग आपकी रात को 11 बजे शुरू होती है और सवेरे 3-4 बजे तक चलती है उसके बाद क्या है कि दे रिक्वायर यंग पीपल ऑल द टाइम आपने अगर एक सीजन में एक सीरियल कर लिया तो दैट डजंट मीन ऑटोमेटिकली दैट यू विल बी टेकन इन द नेक्स्ट सीजन बिकॉज दे नीड यंग पीपल ऑल द टाइम सो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी
कुछ लोग ऐसे जो सालों साल वही शक्लें हैं
कुछ लोग हैं नॉट एवरीवन अगर आप देखेंगे यंग हीरोज एंड हीरोइंस आर कॉन्स्टेंटली कमिंग अप दे आर रिप्लेसिंग देम ऑल द टाइम आप 27 साल के हैं और आपको ग्रैंडमदर का रोल करवा रहे हैं आपसे ग्रैंडफादर का रोल करवा लेंगे बाल सफेद करके इट्स अनरियल सो व्हाट हैपेंस इन द एंटायर प्रोसेस इज डिप्रेशन सेट्स इन विद अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल a lot of youngsters are suffering from clinical depression and that's why these suicides which we are suddenly reading about they're taking place because they don't want to acknowledge that they are depressed they don't want to go to a psychiatrist or seek medical help
उससे क्या alarming don't
it's very alarming because एक होता है कि आप जहां भी काम करें not only your physical health but your mental health is also important but your mental health is shattered by this complete topsy-turvy lifestyle
yes and you also mentioned a lot of things about violence in Bollywood so आपने किस तरह की वायलेंस के बारे में बात करी
well violence I'm not saying it's a violent industry वो तो खैर क्योंकि क्राइम नॉवल है तो इसलिए मैंने एक स्टोरी अपनी फिक्शनलाइज स्टोरी है मगर इट्स अ वेरी मेल डोमिनेटेड इंडस्ट्री आई विल बी ऑनेस्ट विद यू women are still at the receiving end they are not paid there is no way that they are paid anywhere near with the male counterparts there's a lot of exploitation for females they're at the bottom rung of the ladder in practically every department if you look around you So don't go by this thing that, oh, you have a Katrina Kaif who's paid so well, or you have, Priyanka Chopra. These are the top 7, 8, 10 people. What about the bottom? वहाँ क्या हो रहा है? वहाँ देखिए आप.
We're taking a short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. We are talking to Mr. Juggi Bhasin, writer of Bollywood Deception. Now I want to ask you, Juggi, this book here, right in front of me, this picture is so dark.
Yes.
So deception is what you were trying to portray, or what is it?
Yeah. So the key word in the entire book is deception. Deception मुझे लगता है हिंदी का उसका जो शब्द है वो शायद है क्या छलावा या कुछ ऐसा ही एक शब्द होता है छलावा maybe. So that is true for Bollywood. जो
there is one चेहरा which you see
एक चेहरा है और उस चेहरे के पीछे इंसान क्या है उसकी शख्सियत क्या है उसकी असली वो क्या किस तरह का इंसान है वो कुछ और ही चीज होती है इट्स लाइक हमारे जो सेट होते हैं अब टीवी स्टूडियो में जो सेट होता है अगर आप एक वुड का सेट देखें तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो टीक वुड का बना हुआ है वो थोड़ा सा बाहर से लगता है मगर पीछे खाली होता है सो बॉलीवुड इज जस्ट लाइक दैट इट्स लाइक अ हॉलो सेट वेरी अट्रैक्टिव टू लुक एट बट पीछे जो है इट्स कंप्लीटली वेकेंट हॉलो
If I can ask you about your other books, you've also written two other books like Avenger.
3 other books, yeah.
3 other books. Tell us about those. What were the settings and
Correct.
why you wrote The Terrorist?
Yeah. Well, I was talking to my publisher for all the books has been Penguin,
Yes,
Penguin Random House. So, and we still do confront. India faces a huge threat in terms of terrorism. So I gave this proposal to my publisher. I said I would like to do a trilogy, a 3-book series on tackle the issue of terrorism because it's a very important issue. कुछ मेरा background भी रहा है क्योंकि मैं reporter था.
You were doing crime.
I used to do internal security and all that, to some extent. यहीं पे हमारे दूरदर्शन पे. So there was a background to that. तो वो तीनों किताबें जो हैं, they have various aspects of how our country has to fight terrorism, what all training goes into our special forces, for instance. एक terrorist का जो mindset होता है, it is an imaginary cause which they are pushed into, and then the whole psychology, the whole psychological mindset of that individual. So for a writer, for me, this was fascinating. अब मैं कश्मीर बहुत जाता था जब during the days when I was a correspondent. तो आर्मी के साथ coverages होती थी, तो we used to meet a lot of these captured terrorists. तो उनसे जब बातचीत जब होती थी, then you would understand, they would break down. They said कि सर हमको तो मालूम ही नहीं, हमें तो कुछ और दिखाया गया था. जब reality हमारे सामने आई, it was too late for us.
And they probably do not even realize the implications of killing so much innocent people.
And also remember, Nidhi, the other thing is these are young kids, impressionable ages. So वहां पर आपको कोई भी जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं पट्टी पढ़ा देगा, तो आप उसको you will believe it. But when you go out on the ground, on the field, and you see the reality is totally different.
बिल्कुल.
So that has been a major theme in my all 3 books. I wanted to highlight the role what anti-Indian forces have played because the country has struggled.
It is still struggling.
It is still struggling. It's an ongoing live issue for us.
छत्तीसगढ़ देख लो, हर जगह देख लो.
बहुत जगह मतलब वो चल रहा है, and I think our security forces are doing a tremendous job.
Yes.
In combating this problem. But it is also important to understand all sides, to understand and come to grips with the problem.
Which is what I'm trying to ask you. Which are the other sides that we need to understand to sort of, understand what you wrote in the book?
Yeah. जो terrorist जो किताब थी, that was to some extent, it is through the eyes of 2 people. One is a special forces young person called Suvir,
and one is
and the other is the terrorist himself. तो वो टेररिस्ट का मैंने बताया था कि उसकी इंडोक्ट्रिनेशन कैसे हुई, how he was sent to a neighboring country.
पर आपको ये कैसे पता लगा कि उसकी इंडोक्ट्रिनेशन कैसी हुई? आपने क्या ऑब्जर्व किया?
This is
the same place when you went.
This is due to a series of interviews which I had done when I was a DD correspondent.
Yes, okay.
So we used to go on these BSF and army coverages. So the BSF and army, they are practically nabbing these people every day. तो फिर वो उनको कहते थे आप बात करना चाहते हैं तो आप करिए बात. तो we used to talk to them. So a lot of that मेरी जो एक because later I left government service and then I launched into my own creative pursuits. But all those notings and all those things were there in my mind. So from that I sketched the picture कि इन लोगों का mindset कैसे बनता है. So that's how that is the mindset of the terrorists. But equally, you have to remember, you have to understand the mindset of our security forces. The odds with which they are fighting this entire battle. It's not an easy thing.
They're not even very well equipped at times.
Yeah, Nidhi, just imagine एक bunker में एक soldier है, with a SLR rifle. He's sitting in a bunker, and I've seen those times. Kashmir is really much better today. But there were times when I'm talking of which was really bad, about almost 15 years back or 20 years back. और कहाँ से एक bullet आएगी और कहाँ से कोई grenade फेंक देगा, and that soldier is guarding our frontier night and day. I mean, somebody has to write. In fact, my complaint with Bollywood really is, why don't they depict from his point of view, the soldier's point of view?
Absolutely, yes.
People are very quick to write about, usko ye nahi mila to wo terrorist ban gaya. That's fine. We understand that problem. But please take it. And who are these kids?
Glorify the soldier as well, yes.
Yeah, and who are these kids? These are young boys from small villages in UP, Chhattisgarh, Apne ka, all over the country. They come from all over the country. And what are they coming for? They are coming for...
they don't get jobs, so they're coming for money.
They're coming partly for money. एक देशभक्ति का भी वो भी भावना है, but you know, a soldier really fights for his regiment. At the end of the day, a soldier will never betray his regiment. He will always fight for his regiment. So, you know, you have to understand the psychological makeup of these young kids who are guarding our frontiers.
Juggi, reading has now taken a backseat amongst the younger generation. So, do you agree on that?
I wouldn't say it's so bad, but it is not good either. I agree with that. Partly, you know, you can't stop technology. Let's face it, there is technology, you have television, you have the social media. So I'm saying the whole thing has changed. So they're reading this kind of stuff. Now, obviously, the time which you need to read a book, that time is getting more and it's shrinking more and more for these youngsters. Now, what is our challenge? Our challenge is, can we devise ways and means that we make the books interesting for them? That's why I wrote a book like Bollywood Deception. You know, my first 3 books were, to some extent, serious books because the theme was terrorism. But this is more crime ke upar hai, but I wanted to make it more, a little more light, a little more, you know, friendly for the younger generation, so they could identify and issues which are important to them. So that is a challenge for writers. Can we write novels which younger people can identify with?
Absolutely.
That is the need of the hour. And they will come back to reading, I promise you, whether through Kindle or through books or whatever.
A lot of people feel that the books that they are writing are, you know, going to be visually appealing and probably get converted to a movie.
Correct.
So does a writer like you write for this in mind, or you're not thinking about, you know, that Bollywood Deception ever hits the screen?
Any writer who tells you, oh, I don't care about movies, I don't care
lying.
about... is completely lying, Nidhi, I promise you.
I agree.
So let's be
I would
honest.
have caught you otherwise.
Of course, no.
But then why are you writing books? Why aren't you writing screenplays?
I've written one screenplay, by the way.
Okay.
And
great.
it's, I can't talk about it too now because that's under contract. But hopefully that announcement should be coming very soon. No, I write books because I love writing books. The screenplay discipline, by the way, is totally different. A lot of people get mixed up ki screenplay or books ek hi cheez. They're not really. So, yes, I would like my books to see the light of the day in terms of a film. Why not? What's wrong with that?
On a lighter note, I mean, what are the kind of hours you put into and clock into writing?
I would not ask anyone to get inspired. My working hours, they are totally bizarre because I don't write like, you know, from 9 to 5 or something. When I get obsessed with my idea, I start writing literally in the night, continue throughout the night to the morning. I then sleep for a few hours, then I have my tea, coffee, whatever, and then I continue writing there. So I write very obsessively. That's me.
Then you finish a book, say, in how long did you finish Bollywood Deception?
I actually finish my books very fast. I finish this almost in 6.5 months.
Coming to your personal life now, I mean, if you'd like to share with us, please, where you grew up, your education.
Well, I am totally a Delhi person. My schooling was from a school here called St. Columbus. I did my master's in English literature. And then I joined Doordarshan. I joined as a news correspondent here. Best years of my life, really. What a lovely place, lovely people, and very fond memories of this place. But also the career was very exciting, Nidhi, because we were the first batch of television journalists in the country.
Yes.
And we went all over the country, abroad also. I was the first person to interview Mikhail Gorbachev. I went to North Korea. You know, where do you go? You can't go there on your own. So Doordarshan sent us. So lovely time. My wife is a very senior corporate person.
I've seen anybody who's from DD does well outside as well.
Yeah, then I left Doordarshan and then I have now become a writer. I'm enjoying myself basically. I'm doing all the things I always wanted to do as a writer, as a stage actor. I also have done counseling, by the way. I was attached with an organization called Sanjeevani here in Delhi, mental health counseling, as a counselor with them. So helped a lot of people with that. So very interesting.
And your wife is also a person in her own right. She has worked at the task. She's also been at the Axis Bank as on a very, very high position.
That's right. She was from a service called Tata Administrative Service.
Yes.
Very senior Tata person. Then she's also been a banker. She's been with 2 or 3 banks, ING Bank, Yes Bank, Axis Bank. Very senior person. Now she's on a board of directors. You know, now you have women directors. It's compulsory. So she's on the board of at least, I think, 5 or 6 companies, all top companies. She has her own business set up. She's an entrepreneur in her own right. So she's given me, by the way, the space to be a writer. You know, writers, I have to say, they don't earn so much of money. But she says, Juggi, you always wanted to write, so you go ahead and write. I'll take care of all this. Don't worry about it.
And your son?
My son is, he just,
you have one son?
I have one son. He passed out from Sri Ram College of Commerce. Now he is working with a company called Deloitte. And another 2 years and he will be preparing for his MBA.
And he doesn't want to write?
You know, he's actually written some articles. They have been published in newspapers. He actually writes very well. I'm sure he has a book inside him. He will do it, I'm pretty sure. वो father के भी genes है ना, तो वो करेगा. I'm sure he will do that. He's corporate like his mother, but
he has the best of both.
He has the best of both, absolutely.
And any other hobbies that you have besides something in games or, you know?
I just love films. I'm a total film buff, Nidhi. आप मेरे को एक दिन में 3 फिल्में भी दिखा लो, मैं देख लूँगा. I've loved world cinema. You ask me, I'm an encyclopedia on films. So I just love films, basically.
So on this wonderful note now, we'd like to end the interview today. And I'd like to wish you dollops of imagination and many more racy narratives and the very best of luck in all your endeavors.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. It's such a pleasure, and I really love this freewheeling interview with you. It was really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Bhasin.